know I ain't playing. Yeah, I like water with sugarcane. Ooh, nuclear bomb out of Bill Payne. Yeah, I can't fly cause I'm not a plane. Ooh, I like crumbs and candy stains. Yeah, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang. Under the bridge is where I'm staying. Ooh, bitch, you know I ain't playing. Yeah, I like water with sugarcane. Ooh, nuclear bomb out of Bill Payne. Yeah, I can't fly cause I'm not a plane. Ooh, like to eat crumbs and candy stains. Yeah, roach gang, 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 roach gang. Climbing through your air vent. Ooh, I could smell that sugar scent. Yeah, still the best of the insects. Me and my fam like to lay eggs. None of this food be new to me. Nope. Eat it up, even if it's ruining. Yeah. Bitch, raid and add on my family. Fuck raid and Abion's company. Roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang, roach gang. Climbing up your walls and ceiling gives me a good feeling. All y'all niggas kneeling, all y'all niggas kneeling. They kicked me out on the ground with a Nike. I don't understand why they don't like me. I told them, bitch, come fight me. Big Roach, still the main G. I'm healthy, don't need surgery. My flow, Roach gang, yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Roach gang, Roach gang.
Kill me up and that. Yeah, I'm here tell you, say me nah make nobody stress me. Nah make a thing depress me. Nah go make them kill.
Run it back one time, being text.
Yes, one more beam.
Boss. I'll be a skipper.
Okay.
Madness.
Ever since then, eh?
I listen to man.
I really want to see you do it for it comes in.
Oh, yeah. Skipper Mali done leave. Jesus.
All this we say, nah make nothing different. Nah go make them kill me off at all. Nah go make nobody stress me. Nah make a thing depress me. Kill me off at all. You walk up, top a champagne talk. Me nah make nothing bother me. One life me get dark. I mean, I go live life on a beat. Who no like that can drop asleep. Get a few grand cup and piece of grab a leaf. Get a Guinness, pick it up and a beat and a beat. Me there on a pray. How much man nah go make nobody stress me. Nah make nothing depress me. Nah go make them kill me off at that. I mean, I tell you, say me nah go make nobody stress me. Nah make a thing depress me. Nah go make them kill me off at that. Baby man want be king in a life fight. Everyone want to live in a hype. Mood I look for ever be my drive. But if you not happy in a time, me nah go stress over that. Nah go make me little heart overlaps. Nah go ever see me panic grow my gap. Me people over me with them motor chat say I stress kill man. Me have family when stressed and dead. But me people waste me time to stress for them. And I like me I try to me better than them. But me nah go fret fi not do well less than yeah. I want life to get so me I live it out. Jaja give me the strength so me I dig it up. Nah stress for nothing me can't live without. I run till it come. Me I tell you say me nah make nobody stress me. Nah make nothing depress me. Nah go make men kill me off at all. Yeah, and me I tell you say me nah make nobody stress me. Nah make a thing depress me. Nah go make them kill me off at all.
Alright, GG's, man. Let's let ChatGPT run through, updated on some stuff, get ready for the window.
Mission 017, pre-market brief. GG's, I went through everything you sent, from the daily all the way down to the 2K tick chart. One thing immediately stood out compared to yesterday. The market has shifted from defending support to testing overhead supply. Yesterday, we were asking if buyers could defend the higher timeframe FVGs. So buyers have already done that. Now the question becomes, open quote, can buyers accept above resistance, or will higher timeframe sellers defend it? Close quote. Expectation, I think your framework is lining up well. Current structure, above midnight, open 28,900, above end of your daily FVG, above the HTF FVG low, above Friday's 10 a.m. bar. That tells me buyers currently own the short-term order flow. The higher timeframes, however, are approaching areas where sellers have historically shown interest. Higher timeframe story. The daily has reclaimed a meaningful portion of Friday's sell-off. That doesn't automatically make the trend bullish. Instead, it tells me the market has rotated from discount tap back toward premium. That's exactly where your area before entry concept becomes important. Daily map. Your daily chart has three obvious objectives. First objective, daily bearish FVG 29,211, 29,403. This is the first place I'd expect meaningful reactions. Not necessarily reversal, just increased decision making. Monthly wick CE 29,503, still one of the strongest magnets on the chart. Price has respected it multiple times. Third objective, gas station 30,080, farther away, but still valid if buyers completely own today's session. 4 hour, I really like this chart. The 4H EMA is almost acting like a staircase now. Price is approaching it instead of running away from it. If buyers remain above that EMA after NY opens, that increases the odds of continuation. If they reject immediately, that becomes information. Number 1 hour, this chart tells me the reclaim wasn't random. We have above Friday 10 a.m., above daily FVG, above HTF support, EMA beginning to flatten. Momentum has improved. Now we need confirmation. Number 15-minute quarters. Your quarter breakdown. XAMD makes sense. Manipulation should dominate the opening period. Distribution becomes more likely later in the morning if the move establishes direction. Rather than assuming the distribution is bullish or bearish, I'd let the opening tell you which side is actually being accumulated or distributed. Now 1 minute. The biggest thing I noticed, price is comfortably holding above midnight open, NO, your range highs. Those are all areas that were resistance before. Now they're potential support. That means if we retrace there, the question becomes, do buyers defend? Number 2K tick, this is probably my favorite chart today. Your notes match what I see. We had range, multiple tests, support held, break, retest, expansion. Now we've had the overshoot. That tells me exactly what you've been teaching. The trend has already produced a new X. Now comes the important part. Defend X today isn't about predicting. It's about watching whether new X gets defended. If buyers defend, EMA, top of range, premium discount median, NBOG, midnight open, then continuation remains the higher probability outcome. If they lose those areas, your framework immediately shifts toward waiting for the next structure instead of forcing longs. Check areas today. Area 1, top of the previous range. This is my favorite pullback location. Area 2, midnight open, 28,900, huge decision point. Area 3, daily bearish FVG, 29,211 to 29,403. First major overhead reaction area. Area 4, monthly wick CE, 29,503. Still one of the strongest higher time frame decision points. News. The economic calendar you shared doesn't show a major high-impact U.S. release during the NY cash open. That generally means price is more likely to be driven by liquidity, positioning, and technical flows than by a scheduled news shock. Of course, unscheduled headlines can always move the market. Movie. The movie I'm building this morning looks like support holds, sugar forms after 931, retest, EMA alignment, new X defended, expansion toward daily bearish FVG, monthly wick CE, the alternative movie, open rejects, lose midnight open, lose range highs, EMA rolls over, wait for the next higher quality setup instead of chasing. The biggest difference between today's preparation and some of your earlier missions is that your process has become much more structured. You're no longer looking for a trade. You're building a complete narrative across timeframes. Expectation, area, location, evidence, execution. And on the 2K chart, you've added another useful filter. Trend, break, retest, new X, defend X. That gives you a clear decision framework. If new X is defended, continue working with the bullish intraday structure until higher time frame resistance proves otherwise. If new X fails, don't argue with it. Rebuild the framework and wait for the next sequence. Mission Hover 017 is off to a strong start. Protect your patience through the opening. Let SugarCane form after 931. and then let the market come into your areas rather than chasing it. GG's.
Just grab everything. Fool him again. I remember you like say you have stash out of there, huh? There's no beard.
3 months now.
Bruh. If you don't feel it. Yo, God. The morning schedule.
Me now go stress over that. Now I'm gonna make me look out over that. Alright, so far I would say I would look for continuation up, expecting continuation down if we want to. But I got a few levels on the upside that I could see get taken out. And otherwise just gonna chill and watch. But yeah, I'd say more upside for me. I'll always let you guys know when I enter a trade. If I enter a trade, mask on, you already know I'm in the trade. Mask off, I'm just chilling. Just waiting and watching. Teaching ChatGPT how to basically be some eyes and ears. Color me GPT, some eyes and ears to me while don't have to think about everything. Already know what I'm looking for, but sometimes you miss stuff, so just doing that. Right, so back up CYA double time. And yeah, let's keep updating the GPT. I got a few things to teach it today a little bit as well. Give me a second. Okay.
Yeah, man. Guido. Bucklat. Yeah, man. Say a second and a second it was.
Yeah, for this time, buddy.
Work on the chicken
And the
man
chicken
jerk.
man jerk.
Yeah.
Alright. Here are the latest updates. First. Okay, GG. So we got new extreme. And since we got new extreme, we've kind of just been going up, staggering. We're now starting to roll over into a range a little bit, but we're still continuing up. We'll extend the trend line on the tick chart soon. As far as 1 minute, we do have the sugar. High is 29,098. Low is 29,061. So look out for that. On the 1 hour, we have closed. We haven't really closed outside the daily fair value gap yet. We're pushing outside of it now, going above a 1 hour left side. There was a bearish fair value gap. The top of that one was, let's see, 29,164. We're about there right now. We're at 29,167. So let's see. We're going into Friday's new day opening gap as well. And then, yep, the manipulation has started. We took out the high of the previous 2 quarters. And again, we're waiting for distribution after 10:30. We'll show you and teach you a few things today as well. Remember those 30-minute bar reminders. That's going to lead into something I'll show you today as well.
Okay, so we here set the base and the sugar and the 061, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the wick there, you just bypass the wick and just go down to the body of the sugar. Because we always start at the wick, you have to get that space there where the flavor gap.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. So then I said, when I say the 061, so me did always drop it right up where the wick catch that space as the flavor gap. But when I say you, like, bypass the wick and go down to the body. That means so. We went 061. And this did have it first.
I don't have a wick there.
Yeah?
I don't think. Actually, I do have a wick there. I don't know. It draws it with the wick. Let me see on my other chart. I do it both 2 times.
Yeah, I know. So I feel thing dry. So I just there one there,
Yeah, let me go try 930. I could tell you one even closer. So I draw it both times. I draw it here on the 1 minute and I draw it on the tick chart. It's just so bad. Where's 931? Even here it says 29084.
29084. Yeah.
That's what you got.
Because that is the weak stuff.
Yeah, so maybe the tick chart could give you a little more clearance. So now we gotta get both. And so what's your low?
So low is 29084.
And the high?
And the high is 29098.
Okay, good. We got both highs, different lows.
Mission number 0117, live update number 2, GG's. This is exactly why I like your process. You're not reacting to every candle. You're updating the story as new information comes in. Looking through your charts, here's what I see. Now Shatter 1, New X did its job. This is the biggest update. Earlier we talked about open quote, break retest, New X defend X, close quote. That's exactly what has happened. Price broke, retested, created New X, then printed a new extreme higher high. Now you've completed the first objective of that sequence. Number 2, the overshoot is maturing. Your 2K chart is starting to show something different now. Earlier, strong impulse. Now, impulse, smaller pushes, less separation from EMA. Beginning to stair step. That's normal after expansion. It doesn't automatically mean reversal. It means, open quote, momentum is slowing enough that we now need fresh evidence before assuming another expansion. Close quote. Number 3. Sugar is now a reference point. You marked sugar high 29,098, sugar low 29,061, perfect. That now becomes one of today's best information zones. If price comes back there later, does sugar hold? Does EMA hold? Does buyers defend New X? Those questions become much more important than predicting direction. Shiner 4, you're at an actual decision area. Price has now reached what you planned before the session. Daily bearish FVG, Friday's NDOG, left side bearish imbalance. This wasn't random. This was literally one of the first areas from your morning roadmap. Now the market has to decide. Number 5, the structure is changing. I noticed something subtle. Earlier today, higher highs, strong closes, minimal pullbacks. Now higher highs, but they're taking longer. More overlap, more hesitation. That doesn't mean bearish. It means the market is beginning to negotiate price instead of simply auctioning higher. Big difference. Number 6, 30-minute bar. I remember you mentioning that today's lesson is going to tie into the 30-minute reminders. I think I can already see why. Every 30-minute close gives another piece of information about acceptance, rejection, continuation, failure. Instead of watching every tick, you're waiting for completed information. That's a much cleaner way to evaluate context. I'm interested to see the framework you're going to teach around it. Current movie. Right now, my movie looks like bullish overnight inventory, new X confirmed, new extreme achieved, price enters higher time frame resistance, momentum begins slowing, wait for evidence, not prediction. What I'm watching now, instead of asking, will it go up? I'm asking, scenario A price holds above sugar, EMA catches up, higher low forms, another new X continuation. Scenario B, price loses sugar, EMA rolls over, can't reclaim, then today's distribution may begin earlier than expected. One thing I really like this line from your update. Open quote, we got the new extreme, close quote. That's a subtle but important mindset shift. You're not saying we're bullish. You're saying the expectation has been fulfilled. Now, a new expectation must be built. That's disciplined thinking. You're letting the market complete one chapter before writing the next. Current checklist, new X confirmed, new extreme printed, daily FVG reached Friday, NDOT being tested, sugar defined, manipulation underway, waiting to see whether the market transitions into distribution after 10:30 or continues accepting above today's resistance. Keep logging these updates exactly like this. They're becoming less about predicting and more about documenting how your framework evolves in real time, which is exactly what makes a trading journal valuable.
Okay, so right now we're currently just testing the sugar right back on it. We got a little update for the low of the sugar. You could put one low, 29,061, but there's also another low which I basically drew on the tick chart and JJ has as well. For the low, that should be 29,084. So we just gotta watch out for that, you know. I'll give you both levels to confirm now, one sugar from the tick chart and one sugar from the 1 minute. Also now on the 1 hour, I'm going to send you pictures of that. We're also falling back down into the daily bullish fair value gap area. Remember the high of that is 29,403. Wait, actually, let me see something. No, that is 29,054. That's what I'm looking for right now. Let's watch out for this.
Just come with the 6 months.
Yeah, and then I'm going to send you a picture in a second as well. The last picture is me drawing boxes around the entire movement of the past 30 minutes mapped out.
Yeah, about them. It's like, what about them, bro? But just did you look? I mean, I say, let me see which part about them just go, bro.
And then, ratchet.
Bro, it's like if I did just pull out there. Oh, God.
Alright, here's the manipulation, right? Took out the high, right back down into the middle. Okay, don't know what's going to happen every time, but the expectation is I'm trying to build into my process. Also, before you review that picture, I just really like to add, I would say, what has to happen for us to participate in live data collection? I don't even want to say trading. I don't even want to say fully getting into trades, just live, participating in live data collection. Because especially when trading with you and my brother, I feel like, I'm just updating information. It makes it a little smoother. Take a loss here, take a loss there, it's just recording information. Take a win should be the same. Just recording information, move on. Sent you some pictures now as well. Let me know what you think.
New skull, new coop, god damn it.
Hungry.
Bruh. So if you're feeling a bad, just step to me then. Step to me then. Step to me then. Cause it's stiff money does not
get to me.
Get to me. The man.
Got it trading money just like get it.
Alright.
Okay.
What you know about what we see done now? What
Mission
you bar
number
them
17,
around?
live
New
update
York
number
time.
3.
No, night time.
This
New
update
York
actually
time,
tells a
night
much
time,
bigger
dog.
story than
Anytime
just
it's
price.
red bun.
Mission number 17, live update number 3, GG's. This update actually tells a much bigger story than just price pulled back. I looked through your notes and the charts, and here's how I document the mission. The movie has advanced. Earlier, the sequence was range, break, retest, new X, new extreme. Now we've entered the next chapter, testing acceptance. That's a completely different phase than expansion. The sugar test. This is probably the most important thing happening right now. You've now identified 2 sugar reference lows. 1 minute sugar low, 29,061, tick chart sugar low, 29,084. Instead of treating those as conflicting levels, I think of them as creating a sugar zone. Markets often react within an area rather than at a single exact price. So watching how prices through that zone can be more intuitive than expecting a perfect touch. Now the question becomes, does price simply touch the sugar zone or does it accept below it? That's a very different piece of information. The 2K tick chart. Your trend line did exactly what it was supposed to do. Price accelerated, printed new X, created the new extreme. Then momentum broke, price rolled back toward the EMA. That doesn't invalidate the earlier bullish sequence. It just tells us that the impulse phase has cooled. Now the EMA matters. Today, the EMA was chasing price. Now, price is coming back toward the EMA. That's when the EMA becomes useful again. The question isn't, is EMA bullish? The question is, does price use the EMA as support, or does it reject from it and continue lower? That's live information. 1 hour context. You mentioned we're dropping back into the daily bullish fair value gap. That's important because you've gone from testing resistance above to testing support below. So the market has shifted from asking open quote, can buyers keep pushing, close quote dot, to asking open quote, can buyers defend what they already earned, close quote. That's a different auction. I really like this idea. You said open quote, I don't even want to call it trading. I want to call it participating in live data collection. Close quote. I actually think that's one of the healthiest mindset shifts you've described. When you're collecting data, your goal isn't to prove you're right. Your goal is to observe. Was the area respected? Did X hold? Did sugar hold? Did EMA matter? Did the 30-minute close change the story? Did the market accept or reject? A trade then becomes just one observation inside that larger experiment. That mindset naturally reduces emotional attachment to individual outcomes. The boxes. The last where you boxed each phase stood out to me. It visually breaks the session into expansion, balance, expansion, balance, expansion, pullback. Instead of seeing a long chart, you're identifying distinct auction phases. That can make reviewing the day afterward much clearer because you're asking, what type of environment was I in, rather than trading the candle the same. If we participate in live data collection, using the framework, I want these boxes checked for participating. Area, higher time frame level reached, sugar, FVG, NDOG, premium discount. Location, at the edge of the area, not in the middle, is there room to the next objective. Structure, new X, trendline break, double gap, retest, high or lower high. Evidence, EA agreement, 30-minute bar confirmation, acceptance or rejection. Does the market defend the level? Execution, risk defined before entry, invalidation clear, target identified. If any of those are missing, you're not saying no forever. You're saying the market finished giving me a movie. So if I had to narrate the story now, it'd be open quote. We completed the expansion phase, achieved the expected new extreme after new X, reached planned higher time frame resistance, and are now observing whether the first meaningful pullback is simply a retest within an uptrend or the beginning of a broader shift. The sugar zone, EMA, daily bullish FVG, and upcoming 30-minute closes are the key sources of information for answering that question. Close quote. That's a process-focused update rather than a directional prediction, and it fits the discipline framework you've been building throughout these mission logs.
Understand we still need to go make new extreme at the hot. You see that?
Okay.
That's still a good trend line, or that trend line just was the new extreme itself.
This thing, brand it higher. Them did want it.
But they did it. Drop.
Bam.
It would have been 5-3. Yeah. I'm looking at below the shoe. The only way you get points is if you put it right at below the sugar. Could be decent. A little green bar. Took out this low. Retest is so big. I'm saying the retest is so far like away. It's just the bottom. But you could. I taught the kids that once it breaks and retest the sugar, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We'll go break and retest.
Once it's sitting on that retest. I want to see something nice on that retest. Yes, exactly that. When I break it down for you in the boxes, you can see the 30-minute go from what they call AMD. Accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. So we'll keep taking a look at that. Right now, sent you some updated pictures. We broke through the sugar. We broke through the sugar, retested it at 954. Didn't see nothing nice though, so we're still just watching. I'll show you the trade that's interesting. I have traded like that before, but like I said, I'm kind of waiting for something a bit nicer right now because I know it's manipulation quarters. Hungry.
Yeah, I'm mentioning that.
You know what I mean? When you're around.
So you want to
Sweet. With arrows where the possible entry for the short. Where is this area? 29054. 29054. you almost like this is start just from 2905453.
And then jump.
Dungeon got a break new extreme twice, even with overshoot. Sweet one, would you like to get to know?
Just the funny EMA right now. Is even on the bar green. I'm sitting this up right there. So.
Mission.
What do you think? You're gonna give your analysis?
Really, me not have one to go for right now. And that's I'm just there never really be answering nothing because at first me I go look face you know them probably just dip in and then go higher but them have to do that, you know? So I'm just I want really.
From 017, live update number 4, GG's. This update actually reinforces something you've been teaching me over the last several sessions. This wasn't just a break of sugar. It became a lesson in timing inside AMD. The sequence. From your charts, this is the movie I see. Accumulation, breakout, new X, new extreme, overshoot, momentum loss, break of sugar, retest. No confirmation, stand aside. That last step is the important one, the 954 retest. You pointed out something I really like. Open quote, we retested sugar, but didn't see anything nice. Close quote. That sentence is exactly what separates watching from forcing. The location was there, the retest happened, but the evidence never showed up. So the process stopped there. Area, location, evidence, execution, no trade. That's a successful decision, regardless of what price does afterward. The green arrow. I understand why you marked it. From your framework, that arrow is essentially saying, if the retest had produced my evidence, this could have become the participation point, not because price touched the level, but because it would have completed the sequence. Break, test, evidence, execution. Right, that middle piece, it's just retest, not an entry. Hack AMD on the 30-minute. This is where your boxes really help. Instead of seeing one continuous market, you're breaking it into options. Accumulation, balance, energy build, manipulation, liquidity taken, high swept, low swept, traders trapped, distribution, direction becomes clearer, expansion away from the manipulation. That gives context to your patience. You're not avoiding trades because you're uncertain. You're avoiding them because the market is still in a phase where false moves are expected. What the tick chart is telling us. Today, new X was defended. Now, new X has clearly failed. Momentum shifted, trend line broke, EMA rolled over, sugar broke. That's valuable information. Whether it ultimately becomes a bearish trend or just a deeper pullback is a separate question. But your framework correctly identified that the character of the auction changed. Live data collection. I think this language is becoming part of your methodology. Instead of asking, open quote, should I trade? Close quote. You're asking, open quote, has the market produced enough evidence to justify participating in this data point? Close quote. That subtle wording changes everything. Every observation becomes useful. Sugar held, sugar failed. EMA defended, EMA failed. Trend line held, trend line broke. New X defended, new X failed. You're building a database rather than trying to win each interaction. The lesson I write down. Today's biggest lesson isn't about whether the market went up or down. It's this. Open quote. A level can be perfect, but without confirmation, it remains only a level. Close quotes gave you location. It did not give you permission. That's exactly the kind of distinction that helps reduce impulsive trades while keeping you engaged in reading the market. Current mission state higher time frame, testing resistance premium areas, intraday structure, expansion, momentum loss, pullback. New X, no longer being defended. Sugar, broken and rested. 30-minute phase, transitioning from manipulation toward distribution. Current objective, continue collecting evidence rather than anticipating. Let the market reveal whether this develops into a distribution move or stabilizes into another balanced phase before committing to participation. That's a disciplined update, and it fits the framework you've been building. Area, location, evidence, execution.
Huh?
054, 053 seems to be an important place. That is where we actually rejected from on that green arrow section as well. Just wanted to have a red signal bar instead of green. Looks like we are now melting down. The window has closed. Don't see much, so still standing by. Staying focused. We'll send you some more updates of the 30-minute boxes soon and see what else we find.
So what? That was you. That one. You know what? Go ahead and bro. But I like the ball for the points, bro. I did literally just mark right tonight. You just go right to it.
Mission number 17. Live update number 5, GG's. I actually think this is one of the best updates of the day. Not because of what price did, but because of what you didn't do. The window closed. This sentence stood out. Open quote, the window has closed. Close quote. That's exactly the right way to think about it. Markets don't offer an A-plus opportunity continuously. They open a window, provide information, then close it. Once that window closes, you don't chase it. You wait for the next one. Number 29,054 to 29,053 became the story. This level wasn't just another price. From your notes and charts, it became sugar interaction, previous rejection, green arrow candidate, failed retest area, current resistance on the way back down. The more times a level participates in the auction, the more useful it becomes. Not because it's guaranteed to hold, but because it keeps attracting decisions from buyers and sellers. The green arrow, looking back now, the arrow makes even more sense. Not because it would have worked, but because it represented where the evidence needed to appear. Instead, price reached the area, hesitated, never gave the confirmation you wanted, rolled over. That validates your process. You didn't need to be in the move just because price visited the area. The tick chart, your newest blue box, tells a good story. Earlier today, the market was expanding upward. Now you've boxed an entirely different environment. Instead of expansion, you're documenting break failure acceptance lower balance. That alone is useful data. This is what you've been building. Earlier in your trading journey, I think the temptation would have been open quote. It's moving. I need to get in. Close quote. Today's updates sound different. Now it's open quote, interesting level, close quote. Open quote, interesting retest, close quote. Open quote, no confirmation, close quote. Open quote, window closed, close quote. Open quote, continue observing, close quote. That's a huge shift in execution discipline. Number 30-minute boxes. I'm excited to see where you're taking these. They're becoming much more than time divisions. They're becoming behavior divisions. Instead of saying open quote, 9:30 to 10, close quote, you're saying open quote, this is an option where buyers attend. Then, this is the option where they buy.
Why to mommy? Mommy. So you want what you like to? Come on, get everything that you know, it's now it. I'm back like this and I probably start your fuck. So you want what you like to? Come on, let me go. So you want what you like to? Now imagine me have two pot. Dog, I six that one time, dog.
6 bomber clatting. Craziness.
Bruh. Come add more.
Top of the range. Retesting the top of the range on my 2K tick chart.
Good. Pressure. Big butt. You know the sleeve, huh? Okay, yes, okay.
Mission 017. Live update number 6. This is actually an important test of your framework. From your 2K tick chart, price has rallied back into the top of your blue range after previously breaking lower. That's exactly the kind of retest you've been teaching me to watch. Current movie 1, new extreme formed. 2, momentum rolled over. 3, price broke down out of the rising channel. 4, it accepted lower. 5, now it's retesting the top of the range. That turns this blue box into the current battlefield. What I'd be watching. Rather than assuming the retest fails or succeeds, I'd ask the same questions your framework asks every time. Does the top of the range reject price? Does EMA continue acting as resistance? Do we create another new X to the downside? Do we get evidence, or are we just revisiting the area? If the market simply tags the level and stalls, that's still just information. If it begins closing back inside the upper portion of the box with acceptance, then the breakdown may have failed. If it rejects and starts producing lower highs again, then the breakdown is being defended. What I notice, your green arrow is still pointing to the type of location where you'd expect evidence to appear, not where you're obligated to participate. That distinction has become one of the biggest improvements in your journal today. You're no longer saying, open quote, price reached my level, therefore trade. Close quote, you're saying, open quote, price reached my level, now prove it. Close quote. That's a much stronger process. 30-minute context. This retest is happening after the manipulation phase you've been documenting. As you've been teaching me with the AMD framework, accumulation builds inventory. Manipulation reaches for liquidity. Distribution is where acceptance matters. So this retest is valuable because it tells you whether the market is accepting back into the previous range or accepting below it. Current journal note, open quote, price is retesting the top of the 2K range after breaking lower. No participation yet. Watching for acceptance or rejection at the range boundary. Area has been identified. Evidence still required before execution. Close quote. That keeps today's rule intact. Area, location, evidence, execution. So far, You've done an excellent job staying faithful to that sequence instead of letting the market pull you into prediction mode.
Them are observing on social media. I want to see Vania. Hey.
Funny exhaust.
Which beast this Musty Gorilla? He just bark.
What a car run for 2 liter drip.
This picture actually makes the 30-minute AMD box concept much clearer. Here's what I see. Box 1 before 9:30. This is your accumulation. Small candles, balanced price, EMA relatively flat, no real directional commitment. The market is building inventory. Box 2, 9:30. This is the explosive manipulation. Exactly what you've been teaching me. Large impulsive expansion, price runs liquidity, makes a new extreme, 29,192.50, stays above the EMA during the drive, then immediately loses momentum. This is where traders often get trapped chasing the move. Box 3. Now we're watching distribution. This box is very different. Instead of impulsively selling, price is making smaller candles, respecting the EMA from underneath, creating lower highs, compressing after the sell-off. That's acceptance at lower prices, not another impulsive move. What I like about today's session, something clicked today. Instead of saying, open quote, market is going down, close quote, you've been saying, open quote, we're inside the distribution box, close quote. That shifts the focus from predicting direction to understanding where we are in the auction. One thing I noticed, at 29,054, the level you kept mentioning, price repeatedly reacted there. Rejection from above, brief retest, then continuation lower. That level appears to have acted as the ceiling of this distribution box after sugar failed. Within your framework, that's the kind of location where you'd expect evidence to appear, not automatic entry. Shash AMD Framework, today's journal, 08:30-9:30, accumulation, inventory built, 9:30-10, manipulation, liquidity taken, new extreme created, sugar formed and later failed, 10 to 10:30, distribution, acceptance below sugar, retests failed, EMA remained overhead, price compressed while holding lower. I also like how you're using these colored boxes. They simplify what could otherwise be a very busy chart. Instead of seeing hundreds of candles, you can immediately ask, open quote, which quarter am I in?
Respect.
What phase of AMD is this quarter showing? Am I supposed to be gathering information, waiting for evidence, or looking for execution? Close quote. That's a structured way to stay aligned with your process rather than reacting to every candle.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Hey, yo, Haitian. Tell these people you Haitian, bro. Tell these people you Jamaican and Haitian, fam. Tell these people, bro.
Can't do it at some point when they shot there, so you jump over this. You don't remember where you come from, you remember where you need. Can't do it at some point when you bust every light lock off when you want one card. Can't take on them when they bust our perfect fast too. Why can't you just come to the end of that and do it? Haitian at some point when you bust people.
Get up to the Z. Oh, so it's hard for the E. Look at bone flex me. We're hit bigger than little people. Looking at it. 33 teeth. Cold. But the hot that teeth. Pop and two that the hang out of me. Carry that pin. There's a pint too weak. Yeah, bumping from the pin. Pulls outside the lad. No one of these done. Every shot I reckon I must be, yeah. Every hole I can will stop it, yeah. I've been getting caught on the stage, just little. Getting to a boat, but I'm surprised I keep it up. I still got your blood on my 2 fingers, I'm getting them. You know, the day that I put it on, elephant, I don't step right up. If Yeah, man, I come and shot his ass up. But the party, I rock you all up. Motherfucker, get your motherfucking motherfucker. The double cut lady, fucking when she crazy, she wanna have baby. What the fuck? Just leave it out. So it's hot. Goes to all sides, P. Where I hit, you got a little P. Looking at it, good. 33 teeth, cold. But he but that teeth, cold. What can I hang on the punch? They put a switch on this. It felt it's your body.
Man, turn up with it, dog, man. What do you say? That one I say, I'm not going to get that one. You know, I'm going to do what crowd is. Upgrade this, let's see. I didn't know what you thought about there, man. Right. And then you can start the content. So that's when the more look it, alright?
What's mom?
It is the top of mom. Take a few peeks of the update. See, we are still just ranging. Nothing crazy. I expect this in the manipulation. Quarter station. You want vodka? Vodka.
Brother, them man then and I be friends with that group of Russian youths. Now we there road with them and that, bro. Me not have to say nothing to that dog. Me not want to say nothing either. Yeah, man. We make good talk too.
GG's. So right now all we're doing is ranging. Can even extend my blue box on my tick chart, but we literally have not gone anywhere different really since about 9:56 until now, which is about 10:44. Everything also New York time, right? We have not gone anywhere. We are still hovering around the top quadrant. What do you say? Top quadrants of my fair value gap there. Still looking at that 054 area, right? But we're now down to 28,937. Right, kind of bouncing on the EMA on the hour. We created our 10 a.m. bar and we're right below it, right? So we did get a little retest again off that area. Like you said, we got rejection, we got a retest and a rejection, but nothing nice. Now we're back in the area of the chop. We're also now past 10:30, so we should be in the distribution quarter, and we'll send you a 30-minute draw out soon.
Can't me not call nobody. I won't tell nothing.
Mission number 17. Live update number 7.
It's just that fire
This is
gun.
actually one of the best examples of discipline you've shown. The market has now spent roughly 45 to 50 minutes doing almost nothing but rotating inside the same area. Your blue box on the 2K tick chart captures it perfectly. Current market structure, 2K tick, new X still intact. Blue range continues to define the battlefield. Multiple tests of the upper portion of the range. Multiple failures to expand. No fresh acceptance outside either side.
Me not trust it in,
That's
bro.
not trend.
Right now, me
It's
I feel like say, Father did the pan for me
1
one
minute
first,
from
and
your
me
chart,
never know,
I
cause him
noticed.
did have time.
Price is still trading beneath the sugar area you've been watching. The
But
29,054
I'm
area
concerned about
continues
edges
to
on
act
the
like
edge.
a decision point. The 10 a.m. bar has now become a reference level. EMA is flat. Price keeps rising instead of trending away from it. When EMA begins flattening like this, it's a number 17. Live update number 7. This is actually one of the best examples of discipline you've shown. The market has now spent roughly 45 to 50 minutes doing almost nothing but rotating inside the same area. Your blue box on the 2K tick chart captures it perfectly. Current market structure, 2K tick, new X still intact. Blue range continues to define the battlefield. Multiple tests of the upper portion of the range. Multiple failures to expand. No fresh acceptance outside either side. That's not trend, it's negotiation. 1 minute from your chart, I notice. Price is still trading beneath the sugar area you've been watching. The 29,054 area continues to act like a decision point. The 10 a.m. bar has now become another reference level. EMA is flattening because price keeps crossing it instead of trending away from it. When EMA begins flattening like this, it's another sign the auction has slowed down.
Let's see.
Higher time frames. You mentioned you're bouncing around the hourly EMA. Still shown.
$30. One almost in the same place, $30.60. You don't think we should wait for it to go up? You think we get them now?
Yeah, like 3 to 5.
Big triangle dog. We're trying to look at some roadie orders. Be a second with activity I got.
The market has now spent roughly 45 to 50 minutes doing almost nothing but rotating inside the same area. Your blue box on the 2K tick chart captures it perfectly. Current market structure, 2K tick, new X still intact. Blue range continues to define the battlefield. Multiple tests of the upper portion of the range. Multiple failures to expand. No fresh acceptance outside either side. That's not trend, it's negotiation. 1 minute from your chart, I notice, price is still trading beneath the sugar area you've been watching. The 29,054 area continues to act like a decision point. The 10 a.m. bar has now become another reference level. EMA is flattening because price keeps crossing it instead of trending away from it. When EMA begins flattening like this, it's another sign the auction has slowed down. Higher time frames. You mentioned you're bouncing around the hourly EMA, still inside the daily bullish FVG. Distribution quarter is now active. Those three pieces fit together well. The higher time frame still provides context, but the lower time frame hasn't produced a clean execution sequence. The lesson from today. One thing stands out much more than any trade. Early in the session, the market gave you movement. Now it's giving you information. Those are not the same thing. Your framework has correctly prevented you from treating sideways movement as opportunity.
Right.
Today's battlefield. Instead of thinking, open quote, where is the next trade, close quote, I'd summarize it as blue box equals negotiation. Upper edge equals sellers defending. Lower edge, buyers preventing another leg down. Until one side gains acceptance outside the box, you're simply observing inventory being exchanged. That's not journal entry. Open quote, 10:44 a.m. NY distribution order underway. Price remains inside the same 2K range for nearly an hour. Multiple retests occurred around the 29,054 decision area without producing an A++ confirmation. Hourly EMA is flattening as price rotates around it. No clean area location, evidence, execution sequence developed. Decision, continue observing. No need to manufacture a trade from a balanced auction. Close quote. One thing I really like from today's session is that you're treating this as live data collection rather than feeling obligated to participate. Whether the market trends or chops, you're collecting observations that help refine your model. That's a productive trading day, even without an execution.
I gotta drop these 30-minute boxes. See what I mean? When I'm trading, I'm cooking. I don't need to trade all freaking day. My brain will be fucking fried.
Bruh.
I don't know. You don't gotta blaze all the time you trade, but you know, me and me have vibe. And if you feel like
It's just automatic. Come on.
wait, hold on. I took a girlfriend that she even look pretty how she is up. Oh,
Oh god.
the man. What? Okay.
He get a dip in the color. Tell him wine in the boom bang cup. Why out the road them broke like black. When I feel say you're bad, just step to me then. Step to me then. Step to me then. When I feel say you're bad, just step to me then. Step to me then. If you feel say you're bad. Live long till the end. Long till the end. Long till the end. So the man will replace me no way. Step to me then. Step to me then. Dirty men's violence. Men's violence. Man, them not gonna say that in the family have the most flow them. Right. Boss flow there all over there. Right now, give us over.
You can't stop him, man.
One big shaky. Tell them I'm wine in the boom bang cup. While the road them broke like black. Wine out, y'all see the girlfriend. She look pretty when she a group. Don't be a wine no stop. What else? Let's go back on in a second. I'm so what? I'm out a girl when me get. If you ask me, I tell you 105. She see me the gun never pass me. I see me act like lobster fresh artist. Somewhere do not. So we just raging right now on the tick chart, and we're bouncing on the median of today, and that level is 28,914. 28,914. That's the median. So that's all I'm watching out for. And these are the updated pictures. You know, see the girl, them a say we braffy. I'm so clean like Jesus. So clean like Jesus. In my white tees, I'm a Jesus piece. Cologne, I kick like Jesus piece. I'm so clean like Jesus. So clean like Jesus. In my white tees, I'm a Jesus piece. I'm a cologne, I kick like Jesus piece. Me tell you, so me can do this all night. Balenciaga, matchy half white. Louis Vuitton in a all white. You know, see me all right, ride out fast five. Me have it in a black and a red, so if you want one, me step out now, pull up Jordan. Some boy at Tarzan, know your class man, you know me dog, them not talk like Braffy, sassy, braffy. Me like when me like beats them, bro. Okay. I'm so clean like Jesus. So clean like Jesus. In my white tees, I'm a Jesus piece. I wanna kick like Jesus piece. I'm so clean like Jesus. So clean like Jesus. In my white tees, I'm a Jesus piece. I wanna kick like Jesus piece. I'm a little and I grew every girl out the road. If you tell me we clean and sassy. I know that girl when me get if you ask me. I tell her 140. She say me you alone now walk past me. Say me I like lobster fresh artist. Some boy too nasty coulda never be party. You know see the girl them a some braffy. Promise them braffy. Stop it. Like my shit on. Slide on them. You running from like face. Pass me a black face. You must have thought it was a Jumping out of line like a friend, all you want to do, nobody else. Jumping that water like Michael Phelps. I would give my heart to you and nobody else. I can really fall with nobody else. She just want me to fall with her for real. I done already felt how her felt. I done already felt how her felt. I can't be no stand, I'm all I stand there. I can't be no stand, I'm all I stand there. 32 a pop right under my belt. Why she want me to feel everything she felt. I don't tell these bitches I don't give up what they feel. I cannot afford to care about how you feel. I don't fuck with none of your niggas as well. All these niggas pussy, can't you tell? I can't get compelled. Came in like a demon, they want me compelled. Bullets in shells like they got a spell. Came in with LG gas, baby, that's no smell. These niggas pussy, I hope you can tell. These niggas bitches, I hope you can tell. And they probably out snitching, gon' tell. I ain't got no time for the tall tale.
Me, I see how the road out. Intern with the air.
You tell me with the what?
You see, I play in the roll to the left or the right.
Yeah.
Me, I see how the one where instead of do the roll, turn the nose left or right. Work intern when I do that. Or that, you know?
It's a quick shift.
You see that? You see that to the left to the right, that's it. That, turn that. And then together. Perfect.
Turn
The
swift.
roll up. That's how you let it feel. Not too low.
Alright. As always, not too.
Right. That's it, we'll turn over.
Mission number 017, live update number 8. This is a really useful update because the market is telling us something different now. From all three charts together, #2K tick. Your blue box has become the auction. Instead of thinking trend, I would now label it. Upper boundary, Wutsu sellers defending. Lower boundary, buyers responding. Midpoint 28,914, your median. That's exactly what you're seeing. Price keeps rotating through the center instead of accepting above or below it. That midpoint has essentially become today's equilibrium for this range. 1 minute I notice. Price remains beneath the sugar area. EMA is almost flat. Several candles overlap one another. Momentum has slowed dramatically compared to the move after 9:30. Weakness or strength. That's balance, the range. Looking at your boxed 30-minute structure, expansion after 9:30, rotation, continued rotation. The important thing is that every new box has less directional conviction than the previous one. That tells me volatility is compressing. New X, I like something you drew on the tick chart. Originally, new X represented break, retest, continuation. Now we're seeing something different. We're seeing new X being absorbed into balance. That's valuable information. It tells us that neither side has managed to defend new X strongly enough to produce another expansion leg. Median, I actually like you tracking today's median. 28,914. That gives another layer to your process. Instead of asking, open quote, bullish or bearish, close quote, you can ask, open quote, are we accepting above or below today's equilibrium? Close quote. Right now, we're sitting almost exactly on it. That means there's no directional edge simply from location alone. Live data collection. This is exactly what today's notes should say. Open quote, 9:30 expansion, close quote. Open quote, new X formed, close quote. Open quote, sugar retested, close quote. Open quote, rejection occurred, close quote. Open quote, failed to expand, close quote. Open quote, auction developed, close quote. Open quote, median established around 28,914, close quote. Open quote, EMA flattened, close quote. Open quote, no A+ execution, close quote. That sequence is much more valuable than forcing a trade because it captures how the market transitioned from an impulsive auction into a balanced one. One thing I'm noticing, one pattern keeps repeating today. Your framework identifies the correct area remarkably well. The question hasn't been where. It's been when the market is actually ready to leave the area. That's where your area, location, evidence, execution sequence earns its value. Today, you've consistently had the first two, area, location, but the market hasn't given sustained evidence of acceptance after the retests. So there hasn't been a reason to move to execution. That's exactly the kind of restraint your process is designed to produce. It's a good example of letting the market prove itself instead of assuming the next move.
Give me the chills. Every time I see you, it give me the chills. Every time I see you, it give me the chills. When I get that feeling, it give me the chills. When I get that feeling, it give me the chills. When I get that feeling, it give me the chill. When I get that feeling, they give me the chill. When I get that feeling, they give me the chill. When I get that feeling, they give me the chill. When I get that feeling, they give me the chill. When I get that feeling, they give me the chill.
No, me have to do this slow. 325. And that's the thing. You see, when this a speeder, this is like, yeah, look for landing or yeah, cruise, really.
On doing that stuff?
Yeah. At 330. You're cruising, bro. Like, what?
Miles per hour.
Yeah, bro.
Does it look slow up there?
Yeah, see, I look at it. I know what it. But the plane itself need that there. So, you know, stabilize yourself in here. When you're there 100 and so, you have to have a flat from there. Now you have to the land.
It's just floating when it's up that fast, huh?
Yeah, and then heavy, you know. You need the speed to keep it up there. When you're there like 400, like anywhere from 360 to 500, you can't do the maneuvers done like the heavy time maneuvers. 300 you can still do them, but you have to make sure your afterburner come on right as you do. You need that shit.
Yeah, no.
The plane just slow and crucial to any crossing or anything. The plane turn wobble. When you pass, you realize you're not in that far.
Yeah.
When you make it pass, 40, 0.40.
That's what it is.
Right, so I'm gonna make it fast, so I read that. And if you're dead too close to the ground when that happens, you're not gonna have time to, you know. If you're dead too close to it, and you're not do the flare, alright, that's it. Because after burner, we push it up. If you catch the flare early enough, if you're dead too close, and you don't have no flare, you're getting okay. Counter that drift there, you just turn it back down and make the speed catch up to past 0.40, and then you and that's Mach.
Mach.
Yeah.
Looking here to see if we could get. Looking here to see if we could get a second entry short, continuing to the leg down, and then maybe reaching the low of today again at 28,709. Just watching to see if we come up and hit my EMA again. I would probably look for an entry as long as I get a good signal bar. Let's see what happens here. I would say we need to break back into the range to get a nice signal bar push, then we're just gonna get big, crazy push. For short, I would see if we get a rejection, then we get the second entry short here. Okay. Keep going down. Let me see. This trend line just looks crazy if this is even real. Yeah, That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? The downtrend would still need new extreme below. What is this? 28,875.
Mission 0017, live update number 9, 11:02 a.m. NY. I like the way you're thinking about this. You're no longer asking, can I short? You're asking, has the market earned another short? Those are two very different questions. Looking at your 2K tick chart, the blue box has now acted as a true distribution range for almost an hour. Price has finally slipped below that range and is now interacting around your EMA and the yellow horizontal level. The bounce you're watching is relatively small so far. I don't yet see evidence that buyers have taken control. What I'd be watching next. For your framework, a second short starts making sense only if the market gives you fresh evidence, not just because it's below the range. Something like price retraces back toward the EMA or the underside of the blue range. A quality bearish signal bar forms at that location. New X continues to be respected as resistance rather than reclaimed. Sellers are accepted back below the median equilibrium instead of immediately reversing. If those line up, then you'd have another opportunity to participate in the next leg of the move according to your process. Reasons to stand aside. I would stay patient if price simply drifts sideways under the EMA. The pullback is weak and doesn't test an important area. The signal bar is mediocre or forms in the middle of nowhere. That would still be data, but probably not A++ data. Today's lesson keeps repeating. This session has been almost a textbook example of your framework. Expansion after 9:30, sugar retest, rejection, new X, distribution box, long period of balance, potential continuation only after the market leaves that balance. So if this becomes the second push lower, it isn't because you're chasing price, it's because you're waiting for area, location, evidence, execution to line up again. If the market never gives you that clean signal bar, then today's journal entry may simply read, open quote, observe the continuation setup. Criteria never fully aligned, no execution. Close quote. That's still a successful session because you're collecting high quality observations rather than forcing trades.
Just watching. Windows done. About to call it on the stream. Let's see what deliveries I got for today. But GG's. Anything else, we'll update. And